Hi, welcome back. Autumn kit from the team here at Nouveau Debut. I'm really excited because for this kit it's Angela Parker that's written for us, and if you want to grab hold of one, go to the website nouveaudebut.com and click on the link to the autumn kit. So we're in Ecclesiastes 3 and we're looking at verse 5, a time to scatter stones and a time to pick them up, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So that's what we're looking at today. So I'm using the traceable that's in with the kit, and I've cut it down so it fits into my Bible, and then I've just washi taped it down so it won't move while I'm tracing it through. And I've just got a simple HB pencil, a freebie from somewhere, and I'm just tracing out the image. And on my desk I've got some water, I've got my mixing palette, and I've got my watercolours, and this is just a mixture of different watercolours, all different half pans that I've put together in this tin. And just what I've done is I've used hot glue gun to glue them all down so they don't move. So I've decided to go with some quite bright colours, some pinks and some kind of stone tanny colours, and I'm just putting a piece of that's just normal printer paper underneath. And before I start, I'm choosing my colours, so I'm getting my colours ready on my palette, ready to start. I've deliberately got quite a big brush so that I don't have to, so I'm not kind of trying to be too fussy. I've got myself a paper towel so that it doesn't make too much mess. And as you see, I keep just dabbing the water off while I get everything ready. Now I'm filming it live as I'm thinking about it. I kind of had an idea in my head. I try not to film these practiced because I want you to see that actually you can just do them off the cuff. You don't have to worry about what it looks like. This might be the first time you want to jump into your Bible. Now watercolour won't go through. It will crinkle. Some Bible pages worse than others. The more water you put on, the more it will crinkle. This one wasn't too bad. If it really crinkles, I often iron it. Now I have grabbed a smaller brush just for the kind of a little bit more detail. I was struggling with the big brush there, and I love the pinks in this. So I've gone for kind of a sandstone colour and a couple of beautiful shades of pink. Now you can use whatever paints you have got. You could do it in watercolour crayons if you wanted this. It's completely up to you. You could do it Inktense pencils if you want to do that. As I say, these are just a mixture, so I can't even tell you what makes the different colours are. There's some Cotman watercolours, which are Winsor & Newton. There are some core watercolours, that's QOR core. There are some Prima Marketing colours, which I suspect is where the pinks and the beiges are from. I think that's it that's in that palette. Oh, there's a few of the Van Dyke ones, I think they are as well, but they're just all mixed together because I like the colours. So I'm just adding a little bit of blue to add the shadows. So all I've done is add blue to the shadows. Now I'm just going to dry it all off. And you don't need too much for drying it. So what I'm doing to get the colours darker, I'm not adding black, I'm using blue or purple to make your shadows darker to the original colour. Black will just kill it. So I'm just putting a little shadow underneath each one, and I'm kind of using the original line art sketch as a guide to where I want to put the shadow. I can just see my pencil line through it as I'm working. I'm mixing another shadow colour up there. Now don't be worried because watercolour dries a lot darker than it goes, a lot lighter than it goes on. So whatever colour you do it to start with, it will dry quite a lot lighter. So I'm just putting some shadows, it's not the original one, just underneath the bottom set of standing stones or rocks. Now if you look, it's really dark there, but in the final one it isn't. I'm just using water to blend out the shadow, and then I'm just drying it out with a heat tool, and I'm just pulling the paper slightly just to straighten it out as it's drying. And then I'm just decided I didn't like it that dark, so I'm just taking a little bit off with a baby wipe. I'm going to dry it again. If you haven't got a heat tool, you can use a hairdryer. Now what I'm doing now is I'm selecting the verse and I'm painting over the verse, but the first time I do this I'm not happy because it doesn't look right. I want to be able to still see the words but also have some colour through there as well. Yeah, I'm just dabbing it off there and drying it, and now I've grabbed an artist pen, and I think that was it'll be a 0.7 or a 0.8. This one is a uni pen, but you could use a Pigma Micron, a Pit pen as well if you want. Any of those three won't go through. I prefer the uni pens, so I've got the thicker one just to do the outside, and then I'll grab either a 0.2 or 0.3 to do the detail. So the outside of each rock's being done with this thicker artist pen, and these pens are waterproof once they're dry. So I'm now putting the shadows like on the original line art drawing. So I've lined those in, and now I'm going to add the little hatching marks, the little cross diagonal marks, and to give it a little bit of detail. And then at the end I decide I'm going to put some more underneath in the extra shadow that I've added, just to give it a little bit more texture there. So I'm grabbing my ruler now. I suggest that if you're not used to doing lettering, that you use some squared paper and you plan it out and then you put it underneath, and you'll see in a minute that here I look at it and go, no, that's not right, don't like it. So I'll grab my rubber and then I'm going to rewrite it again. As I say, best thing, or what I should have done, is grabbed a piece of squared paper and planned it out. So I'm starting from the bottom this time, so I've got everything in place. Just doing a very simple handwritten lettering, mixture of lowercase and uppercase, and you'll see in a minute when I line it in, I double line everything to the right of the original text on the verticals. So you see on the A what I mean there. Very simple technique. And then I decide to draw in a clock shape. I've drawn it in pencil first, dead simple, and a clock shape there. So quite a nice simple page to start with. I'm just making sure I've dried everything off, rubbing out all my pencil lines, but I made sure I dried it before and set it before I rubbed it out. So there you are. So there we are. We've finished our first lesson in the autumn kit. If you want to purchase yourself this kit, go on over to www.nouveaudebu.com. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you want to see more. I hope you have had a blessed time in the Word with God.